So if you don't know who I am, my name is Kristin Smithers. I am the red light queen. As I don't know when, I actually have no idea when that started. I don't know when it was first said, but it just kept rolling on like the online Facebook forums. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go with it because red light is my complete passion. I got turned onto it when I was just a salon attendant while I was going through a lot of knee issues. Turns out I have congenital arthritis. We thought we tore my meniscus, but it was just years of cheerleading on concrete and genetics. And that was the only thing that my physical therapist ever did that made my life a little bit better while I was waiting for surgery. And once I had surgery, and now this is going on. When did I have surgery? 2019? And I might be mixing that up with another one, but that was maybe it was 2017. But that was when everything stopped for my knee pain. So red light helped while I was waiting for surgery. They cleared everything out that was ping ponging around in my knee. And then afterwards helped me recover faster. And then a lot of personal issues that I've had over the years. Red light was the only thing that like pushed me through. But I'm a very like, I need to know why stuff works. I need to know why things are determined the way they are. And that got me into the certification programs through Photonic and then board certified through the the advanced science, the Board of Advanced Natural Sciences. And then I keep learning. I have submitted to studies, I contribute to studies, I consult with businesses and tech companies to make sure the standards of red light are where they need to be, because we have reached a time where not everything that's red is red light. I saw a TikTok recently. It was an advertisement on TikTok where it was like they put their finger up over the LED light and they're like, see the light going through your finger? You don't even need to meter it. You don't need to measure it because you know it works when you see it. And I'm like, you can put your finger in front of your phone flashlight and it's going to go through your fingertips. That does not mean that it's a therapeutic dose. It might not even be the right nanometer of light therapy to produce it. So my goal in life now is to prove everybody wrong, I guess, is my goal.
Heck yeah,
Make sure
Kristen. Heck
education is
yeah.
on the forefront, because our devices in our spas and our salons, they're definitely not going to be the same quality as something you're going to buy off the TikTok shop or Amazon. And I've seen devices sold for like $8,000, handheld devices that you would need to use for 700 minutes to get a skincare dose of red light. So not just because it's expensive does not mean that it's going to work. And the majority of stuff that's available to purchase on a commercial front is is going to be effective, but even on our playing field, there are devices out there that are maybe, if you're lucky, giving a skincare dose. So knowing what your device puts out, having the skincare, having the therapeutic benefits, knowing the difference, how to tell it to your clients is going to make the difference for when I say our industry, I mean, I was a tanning salon and now we have 8 spa rooms. But any place that offers these types of therapies, you have to be doing the service justice. Because if you're out there selling sessions for $150 and it's not giving any therapeutic benefits, people are going to think it's a scam. So we don't want to be thinking we're selling snake oil. We want to be putting stuff out there that is good and knowledgeable. And then on the legal aspect, I really like to teach how to promote light therapy without taking the role of like, I'm a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'll never say I'm a doctor. But there's things that can put you in the same liability as a doctor. So you want to make sure you are
Zone
talking
one.
legally. Hey, Joanna, did you have a question? Just put her on her spot. Do you want me to?
I know. I think Joanna just joined, and so I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't think she has a question yet.
All right, I'll at least
Yep.
mute. So just in case somebody's trying to join and they can't come in, I think everybody's in that has
Oh yeah,
requested.
yeah. I think we're all caught up with our people.
Okay. So if you have any questions that are burning at your soul, you can either raise your hand and you can speak like we are, to where it'll take the screen, or type them in the chat.
Mhm.
Joanna's downloading. Yeah, it made me download it too. So there's a little bit of a, like, you think you're going to log on and then it's like, nope, join in.
Yes, that's it. Okay.
Where is everybody from? So I guess that's my question. Where are you at in the world? And like, what do you do? Do you own a salon? Are you an employee? Are you just learning about red light? You can type that in the chat.
Got Tammy is from Idaho and she's a salon owner. Okay.
Alliance, Ohio.
Okay. There's actually two Tammys. I'm sorry. The other Tammy says, I am the owner of Sunbeam Tanning in Alliance, Ohio. I hope I said that right.
So
Oh no. Joanna said, I am in, I can't pronounce that word.
Tahlequah?
Okay, we're gonna go with that. That sounds
Okay,
good.
it's Tahlequah.
Tahlequah? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love that name. Love it.
What state, Joanna?
We are in Oklahoma.
Oh, awesome.
Joanna's
Guys,
about to be in the chat.
guys, bear me 1 second. My mopping robot just turned on and I'm gonna
Mhm.
when it moves around, I'm gonna send him home. He's
Go
very he's also an angel.
home.
Highly recommend a mopping robot if you guys don't have one yet. We've got like 4,000 square feet and I refuse. We just mop the perimeters and like under the doors. How to find out the joules per session being given if the maker of it does not provide that in the manual. It says it's not what's important to know about the unit. Is there a meter or something that can read the output? Yes, there is. And oh, give me 1 second. I'm going to switch my screens over. I thought at one point I might have linked the, I'm going to upload them to my website for afterwards. I don't have them on there right now. I thought I did, but there is a meter and it's going to tell you the milliwatts per centimeter squared. And that's the holy grail. And when you measure it at where you are to the light. So if I'm reading something, I will read it directly on where the light source is, but then I'm reading it where I am compared to the light. So like in a typical tanning bed style cocoon of a bed, I'm reading it like at my belly because I want to know how much am I getting of the light because it does disappear the farther you are away from it. And how much it disappears just depends on the unit. There's ones that are super, super strong right here, and then you move a centimeter away and it goes down to nothing. And then there's ones that you can be 3 feet away and you're still getting a lot from it. LEDs are very powerful as long as they have a nice cone above it. So there's things that amplify the light. LED, if you're just at the light source, doesn't push out a lot. So it just depends on how everything's manufactured. But I will add that at the end. I'll make sure when we send out like the email afterwards that it's included in there as well. But yeah, there is one. And then it's milliwatts by, just fell, milliwatts by centimeter squared times 60. So say your device puts out 100 joules, you're going to times that by 60. That's per minute. So it's technically per second. And then I times it by 0.001. That's how so you'll get 0.06 joules a minute if you have something that says it's 100 milliwatts per centimeter squared. There are units out there that are much, much stronger. And that just means you probably do less time. And then there are things that are much, much lower and you'll have to go longer. So a therapeutic dose, I like to say 30 joules. And then a skincare dose, anywhere from like 5 to 15. So all the studies that show fine lines and wrinkle reduction, they're usually aiming for about like 30 to 36 joules in a treatment session.
I just wanted to say that where he mentions that in the manual and it says it's not what's important to know about the unit. Kristen, how does that make you feel?
I don't know if you see my face over here. I don't like that because it's almost like they're saying, like, give me a second, my robot. Go home, little guy. Pause. There you go. Good job. He almost sucked up my hair tie. That was what fell. Um, it's just they're skirting away from what actually makes a light unit effective. They might not have any idea, or they learned at one point and another, like, all red light is red light. It doesn't matter. I don't like that information. I will gonna get sacrificed there. I'm going against somebody's written word, but that's like not knowing how long somebody should be in a tanning unit for. Like you need to
Oh
know
yeah,
that information.
that's actually a very valid point,
Yeah.
Kristen. Something I think everybody on here could pretty much relate to as well.
Like I do feel eventually, because of how many people are uh dabbling the line of what should be advertised for red light, people are drawing the line and they're making medical claims that they should not because it's not backed up. I do feel like eventually we're going to have overreach and standards, and that might be a good thing, it might be a terrible thing. I know there's legislation and rulings in different states that they're now trying to say that like estheticians or physicians need to oversee light therapy, and I truly believe it's because there's so much misinformation out there, and you can overdo it. There can be issues from red light for certain people. There's contraindications, low blood pressure, or people who have high blood pressure but are on medication to lower it. It lowers your blood pressure when you use light therapy. So if you're getting an effective dose, you can tip that scale in the negative. Obviously, like epilepsy, anything with light, epilepsy is a big trigger. Breastfeeding and pregnancy is always going to be one of those, like, talk to your doctors about, just because nobody studies pregnancy for anything, just because it's taboo. What's another one? If you have like active open bleeding, red light increases circulation. So if there's a wound that doesn't heal, sometimes that can work to your disadvantage as well. But when you have people that are saying like this will cure cancer, you can't make that medical claim. It's not proven, it's not discussed. It's there's studies on it to help relieve symptoms, and there are studies that show helping of that, but there's not a cure for cancer yet. But there are people out there saying like red light cures cancer. It's like you can't say that. So I do fear if we're not all on the same page of talking about red light, it can go bad. This is also one of the reasons why insurance is skyrocketing for, I'm going to specifically talk to like tanning salons, because we already have a high risk pool. Actually, spray tanning is higher because it's a chemical, but teeth whitening, add in all these different layers. Red light is one of those layers that's like the liability is actually what is being talked about. It's not the liability of like getting hurt in the unit. It's the liability of, well, this person claimed that it's going to reverse all my scarring. It's like, I don't know of a single study that says it's guaranteed to do that. So you want to stick with what the manufacturer is approved for. They will have a 510K that will say it's been approved for wrinkles. For example, the poly is 510K guaranteed to reduce wrinkles, where everything else with red light is approved for general skin health and wellness without like guaranteeing an outcome. There's certain blue light devices.
So I'll make sure I lock up.
That are 510K cleared for the reduction of acne. But if it doesn't have that 510K clearance, it might help support acne reduction. Like there is a very distinct difference with that.
Mhm.
See.
Rhonda does have a question. I'll just read it, especially for a video that we're going to share later, I'm sure. So, if a client that uses hybrid red light / red light and has not used it for a while, how long without use of either do you start them over with lesser time? I know you have had said that a week or two was okay to let them use at the max time they are using?
So you're going to go by the tanning rules. If it's hybrid, typically a 25% reduction is needed for tanning if they haven't been in for a week. If they're a sensitive skin type, it might be just 3 or 4 days that you'll take them back a little bit. But 1 week, 25%, 2 weeks, 50%, 3 weeks, 75%. And ideally, in the tanning world, if somebody hasn't been in a month, you are starting them over because the melanin just does not hold. As far as red light goes, I always do a trial red light session, 5 minutes out of a 20-minute unit, just to make sure that they don't have any weird reactions. But once we know that people are okay with red light, you generally don't need to work your way back up like tanning does. We're just testing for that initial, like, there's 0.02% of people that are allergic to red light and they'll break out in hives no matter what. And there are some people though that can overdo it. If you have a very, very strong unit that's pushing out more than say like 30 joules, I usually start people at half time, that first initial time, but you don't actually have to reduce the red light if it's been a while. Absolutely for the tanning side.
Okay. LJ said, I'm also curious if one should choose the rapid flickering light mode sessions and why versus straight up non-interrupted light. I'm
So
thinking,
go ahead. I
you got excited. I'm just
I am thinking heat sensitive people might benefit from rapid flickering light, but not sure really. The reason why the flickering has started is for comfort. It is overwhelming for especially like wounds, but also with heat. There are some devices that do not have the ability to stay cool, and that reduces the heat by, if it flickers every half second, it reduces it by 50%. With that said, you're reducing how much output is by the flickering time. So a 20-minute session, depending on the flicker, might be like they only did 10 minutes. So you might actually have to go up in time for the flickering. I highly recommend people wear goggles for the flicker because even if you don't have like seizure issues, that strobe light is intense. They're just going on and off and on and off. But yeah, that's going to be reducing heat, especially in things like pads that you're wrapping around close. The flicker is super important. You'll just have to go more time. What does it look like if somebody overdoes it when using red light? Typically, they're going to get a really bad headache. That'll be the first thing that they see, but sluggish, tired, flu-like symptoms. I get to the point where I actually feel like I'm having a hard time breathing, even though I'm not sick and I have no physical things. And it's just because my body is overloaded. So what happens in your body is your cells fill up with all of this good stuff. It starts pushing out the bad. And if your body can't keep up with it, you end up with like a toxin overload. So your body's just constantly trying to fight and push it out, and it goes slower in return. Increase electrolytes, increase water. If you guys have like vibration plates, that will activate your lymph nodes to help push your lymphatic system a little bit harder. But if somebody is feeling any type of off, have them take like a day or two break. They should not be doing light therapy every day. Same way with tanning, really should be every other day. Our body takes it in, it has to push it out. If you're doing too much too often, you can overdo it. And the least thing that'll happen is your body's just not going to respond to the red light and you're not going to get the benefits you want. The worst thing that can happen though is you actually get like sick because your body doesn't know how to push all those toxins out. But yeah, headache is usually the biggest one. Most people feel the headache first. Kind of like a hangover.
boo.
You.
I'd say I usually think I try to do red light about 3 times a week. That's usually my main goal. So,
That's
and
perfect.
how much time would you recommend like 3 times a week? Like I think I'm usually doing like 15, 20 minutes. Do you think
That's great. It depends on the unit. Like if I'm talking about the red wave, that's going to give a therapeutic dose in about 20 minutes. So every other day, 3 times a week is golden. If it's something that is giving 60, I might even say like twice a week for that. But
that's a whole nap?
It is a whole map, and it ultimately is decided on how effective your unit is. I have a fluorescent unit that gives 10 joules. It's a good skincare dose. Could you use it every day? Yeah, but your body is still taking it in and working it for your cells, and you don't want to overwork it. Yes, there will be a recording.
Yes.
I am recording it to the cloud. I don't know what that means. I will upload it right after we are done here.
Kristin read that and now she's going with it. It's going to the cloud.
It's going to the cloud. I always thought I record to my laptop, but maybe I do, maybe I don't. I'm checking my other computers to see if there's anybody having trouble getting in.
Oh, through Facebook.
Yeah, I think we're good. The next time I do this, I want to double it and like be live on TikTok on one. Challenge myself to do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That would be really cool, Kristin. That
Goal.
that,
Goal.
that's a goal.
I'll just bring all my computers here. Like, I don't know how people would do it. 3 times a week, always. Over time, maybe 1 or 2. You can definitely go to 1 or 2. If somebody is seeing you for red light therapy for pain reduction, I usually say 3 times a week until they're feeling better, and then lower it to 2, and then lower it to 1. And then each person's different. So if you can maintain at 1 time a week, that is fantastic. Which do you consider the best red light bed to put in a salon? I will, and I'm not paid to say this. I will say this out loud. I am not paid to say I am not. The Red Wave has done incredibly for me. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms that have like red light therapy. I have 3 rooms that are hybrid units. The Red Wave, since we installed it just over a year ago, is my most used spa room. And we have very like intense panels. We have massage chairs and polys. We have a targeted, like rotating intense thing for pain. The Red Wave is booked nonstop. We do by appointment only now because we cannot accommodate walk-ins. People will come in and like, there's somebody in the bed every time I come in. It's like, you got to book an appointment because that one does fill up fast. And then I do feel like we're giving people a consolidation to go to any of our other units. And our other units are fine, but people really like that Red Wave. With the 3 different light wavelengths, you're getting pain relief, you're getting skincare, you are getting all of the good benefits that red and infrared light can give out.
I'd say this is going to be me being the ad, I guess, because, it is our product, so we are very proud of it. But I just wanted to touch base where Kristin mentioned about products measuring at the skin. One thing that our headquarters did do when manufacturing this product is they made sure we were measuring at the skin. So you're getting that 850 nanometers at the skin rather than what it's omitting. So just wanted to throw that out there. I am actually paid to say that, but I also am very proud of what we have done. And I use this product, like I said, 3 times a week and have noticed crazy benefits with it. But that's the ad. I digress.
And then the more that I learn about like the technology and how much you guys learned before you even started implementing, like, hey, this is what we want to go. The research that JK Well System has put into it has actually even impressed me. The more I learn that they did, the more I'm like, all right, now I feel really, really good partnering with a company that put that much effort into it, because I see a lot of places that are like, oh, I can buy this overseas, put my name on it, and then that's as far as it goes. And then they're getting like a less than effective unit, or what the company says it puts out, they measure it right at that light source to be able to say you get a therapeutic dose at the skin level while you're laying in the bed is huge. And I like the fact that it covers your whole body. You're in there, it's comfortable. We were at a Athletech News conference in New York City last month, and I literally was only there to talk on the panel. And I ended up, besides me having to take a break early because I swear maybe I got the parasite from those peas that I ate the night before. But besides that, like I ended up staying because I just wanted to talk to everybody about it because I'm really, really impressed with that unit and what's on the horizon.
Yes. Well, we love working with Kristin, and we actually do ask for her advice a lot. And we are always looking to her for information because we obviously want to create a unit that's great, but we can be done talking about that. That's not what we're here for. We're here to help others on their salon. So, Rhonda did ask, is red light safe for someone that has had seizures before? Should they consult doctors first? And how safe is it for people who have lupus?
So hard stop seizures are a known contraindication, especially like epileptic seizures. So anytime, and this should be really generally, if anybody's questioning, well, my doctor said I have this and they're coming into your spa, always refer back to doctor. Doctor is going to know best. There are some doctors that have no idea what light therapy is. So that might not be the best source, but with seizures, that is a hard stop contraindication because it can trigger seizures. Because even though we don't see it flickering, there always is a little bit of affluence going on there. Same way like with video games, like there is a warning. So that one, talk to doctor first. And then as far as lupus goes, the majority of lupus cases are going to have increased sensitivity to light. So a 5-minute session for a lupus person can be the equivalent of like an hour for somebody without lupus. So I would actually advise starting very slow and low with that. But of course, consult doctor first just to make sure like they're not on any medications that can increase sensitivity, which lupus depends on the strain of lupus. Strain's not the right word, but what type of lupus they have.
Great question.
Yeah, I had a lady that was on like blood thinners is another contraindication because if the blood is already thinning and flowing, you don't want to increase that because that can increase bleeding risk and bruising. But I did have a lady, she was on it because of heart conditions, talked to her regular doctor, talked to her heart doctor, and they gave her the clear. We just did it a little bit low and slow, which is a great routine to start off with anyways. The one question I get asked a lot is like red light before or after tanning. So you can like red light before or after a hybrid tan. You're not going to get so much red light, at least not yet. The way the world's going, we could have a very therapeutic red light and tanning device eventually. I don't know. But you can do red light before. It's going to boost the effectiveness of the tan. It's increasing your oxygen. It's increasing your like reset the word that I want, receptiveness to tanning. It helps calm down like overreactions. And so if people want to boost tanning, red light before. If people want to calm down tanning, like if you have a very, very low skin type, people with sensitive skin, people that are like, I got to use lotion, but lotions make me freak out on my skin, red light after is fine. There really is no win-win. You can do either or. There are some people though that opposite red light before actually makes them not tan as well because it does dial down your body's overreaction. So there are some people out there that can dial down. So each person is different. Ooh.
We love near infrared.
Near infrared and red light are like Batman and Robin,
Yes.
or like, I don't know, the Hulk when he's green. Trying to put it out there, but they ended up together and they, as I was just watching like a Marvel marathon this weekend, but they power team together and they actually make each other's effectiveness stronger. So the one study that I always go back to was, and everything's done with mice, that's just how it goes, but it was surgery scars, and they did one with red, they did one with near infrared, and they did one with both. And the red light actually was more powerful for skin rejuvenation, healing that scar than the near infrared. But the combination of those ended up reducing healing time by like 70%. So the combination works more. Red light works more on the surface. Near infrared goes internal. So you're getting that boost of the red light in, is how I describe it to my clients, plus tissues and organs and bones and muscles. So near infrared is very good for pain relief. I love near infrared. I love it. And it's not the same as far infrared, which is heat. So I'm going to give an example. So like near infrared will go into the skin like this much. And then as soon as you get into that far infrared, it actually reduces because it's a thermal heat. Similar benefits, but it's not as impactful. So like an infrared sauna is not going to have the same benefits as near infrared light. And I know there's saunas out there that have red and near infrared technology. Typically they're too far away for anything to actually come out of it, unfortunately. And if you ever read any of my articles in Sun is Life magazine, I talk a lot about the big differences between red and near infrared, but also like the different benefits and what you should say and not say. So that's going to be my plug for Sun is Life. I'm a senior writer there now. I don't just do monthly red light articles now. I've kind of took over a lot of the different subjects, and I try my hardest to put into longer words everything that I try to preach. So near infrared red light is going to be body healing. Infrared light is going to be thermal, gives a little bit more skincare, more relaxation, helps perspirate. But if you warm up your body with infrared heat before red light, you're not going to absorb the red light as much. So like if you have combination stuff at your salon, I always suggest light therapy before thermal heat therapy. So that was my long tangent on that one. So like the units, we go
I
ahead.
was going to say, LJ did actually have another question to follow up with that while you're talking about it. It just says, so the combo all the time is just fine.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Near infrared light would be the one that I recommend if you're doing it on your face. Wear eye protection. Red light is shown to help eyes, inside, outside. Red light is perfect as long as it's an LED source and not laser, or you can do fluorescent LED is going to be perfectly fine for eyes. Near infrared's just not studied enough. Me personally, I'm in there, I'm on my phone. As long as you're not directly looking into the lights, that's my like, you should be okay. But yeah, all the time is beautiful. Just space it every other day, because once you're into like near and red, it's usually a pretty powerful unit. So going daily might be too much. Oh, thanks, LJ.
We're happy you guys are here.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know how tonight was going to work, so I'm excited.
After hours. We could do like a little, like, if we make this a thing, we could have like a whole little, you know what am I trying to think of when you first start the show and it's like da da da.
Ooh, it's like a
Hours.
theme song, like an intro song.
Yes, thank you. Okay, it's after hours, Kristin. I
Who's
can't do
musically talented that can do a intro song?
this.
There's got to be somewhere out here. Our industry has so many amazing entrepreneurs and creative people. Like we could actually own the world if you didn't know that already.
If you really think about it, yeah, we could.
The other question I get a lot is like products. I have majority Devoted Creations products just because I really like how their products are made, all the education behind them, how I can find the education easy to know what's in the products. I'm obviously not working in my salon as much anymore now that I'm doing such a big focus on light therapy education, but I can go on and find out information about these products. I do have a couple brands from elsewhere, but if the product is made for light therapy, it will either not block light therapy or it will enhance it. So I always recommend use a different product for both though. And the hybrid lotions, I think Hard Feelings doesn't enhance red light, but it doesn't block it. Oh, I'm trying to go backwards. I know over here there's some that are made to specifically like Moonrise enhances light therapy. You still want to apply it before red light as well as tanning, because once you're warmed up, all those really positive benefits are used up. So I always recommend hybrid lotions are great for like hybrid units, but you're still doing a dose per treatment. You need the skincare per treatment. Red light is finicky. It doesn't like to absorb. It's actually more finicky than tanning, I feel like. So you want something that helps direct that into your skin. So I just ordered more like my Illuminate Reset Rewind spray that did not come in on my order, but that one I love. Just like that one sells like hotcakes because it's great skincare. But yeah, products are a good thing as long as they are made for red light. Moisturizers are going to go on after your services. Obviously, lotions are going to go on before. How do I know that they work? Is a question that I got. And a couple years ago, I used one of my meters. I used to have glass shelves and I put the light above it. And there were literally lotions that made the meter go higher. And then the ones that weren't made for red light either reduced it by so much or completely blocked the red light at all. So it's really important. Like if you have a hybrid unit, you're selling lotions that are made for hybrid. Otherwise, they're not getting the red light benefits.
That's actually very interesting. It's like you're a scientist or something.
It's what I do. All my research papers.
Okay. Are face serums for skincare okay to use with red light sessions versus hybrids or lotions?
If it's a face serum that is clear, I'm going to say yes, no matter what ingredient is or is not in there. But if there is an opaqueness, you will want to make sure it is made for light therapy. So we do like the hybrid face from Tecton and then the Halo Beam Cream from Devoted. Those ones I know for a fact are going to enhance light therapy. And then I think it's just the honey, maybe the beach, that the beach bronzing balm, and then the honey. It doesn't block it, but it doesn't do anything to enhance it. So that's what I usually try to tell my clients. Like, I'm going to sell you something that just is not going to block it at least, but ideally we're going to enhance it because who wouldn't want to boost the benefits of light therapy?
Can anybody think of any other questions they might have? I'd say I am actually curious. I don't know if you are, Kristin, but how is red light like up and coming in your area? Like are other spas and salons? If anybody wants to speak on that, do you feel like it's a rapid growth or do you feel like it's like, we want to be the first to introduce it? Like how is that in your guys' area?
There is a lot of places that are starting to add light therapy one way or another. The couple of places that have added, unfortunately, have added stuff that's not that it's not going to do anything. And that's one of those tough pills to swallow. It's like, all right, let's get you on the right path. I actually don't think of them as my competitors. Now, if somebody was right across town, I would definitely think of as them as my competitors. But the people that you're typically not driving very far if you're going somewhere multiple times a week. There is a cutoff to where it's like an inconvenience. So I just try to get everybody on the same path of red light. It's like if you're doing it, we want it to be effective. I do feel like we get robbed by, oh, I do this at my gym. And then you find out what the gym has. And it's like, that's not doing anything. That's not doing anything for you. So why don't you try out what I've got for a week or two and then let me know how you feel afterwards.
Sandy said, what is a quick few sentences to explain to someone to reel them in when they have not heard much about red light?
So my biggest thing is to actually like redo a salon tour and tell them what units we have that have light therapy after I ask them, like, what have you heard about red light therapy? There's people that are not going to know anything about red light therapy at all. And then there's people that are going to make stupid jokes about the red light district. And then there's people that are going to make jokes about stop signs. And there's like really no in between. And what people have heard about red light is usually like, oh, I've heard it's really good for your skin, but there's also multiple other benefits. So that circulation boost, it's going to make you sleep better. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to help you digest better. It's going to help wake up your body as if you drank a ton of caffeine, but without having caffeine. So anything that your body is supposed to do, light therapy actually helps turn it back on and go better. And I usually explain to people like we're constantly in fight or flight. We are constantly facing some sort of stress, and stress is ultimately what hurts our body. It's what ages us faster, it what makes our bones creak and crackle. It is, I mean, nobody feels good when they're stressed. So if you can take your body out of that fight or flight mode and put it into rest and digest, light therapy is going to do that, and it's going to help your body relax, unwind, and start doing what it's supposed to. And really, the immediate benefit is like you're going to come out a little bit glowy and you will feel better. And everybody loves that.
Joanna says, do you have a disclosure form you could recommend for a new client to read, telling about contradict?
Contraindications.
Oh my God,
That one.
that was rough. Sorry, guys.
Photobiomodulation like 5 times. And you.
Marketing major. Okay, guys, it's a fine. Okay. And
I do. So they want to know if they have a disclosure, like a liability form. I do. I will update it because I feel like the one that I have on my website, I think I've updated it since I posted it. So I will update that. I have homework tomorrow. So by this time tomorrow, my website will be updated with the meters that I recommend. And I do recommend just dinky little handheld ones, which do a pretty darn good job without spending like the $8,000 on a very big one. And if you want to spend that much money or more, I will happily link those. But if you're spending that much money, I would have a piece of advice or like a piece of equipment I would recommend for you over the meters. So it's just a couple $100 for the little meters, but I also recommend metering like your tanning lamps the same. So I'll give all those goodies.
yes, I'd say, and we can send out, we've actually sent this out before because people were curious in past webinars about it. So we will make sure we include this in our emails. In like our recap, we sent out to you guys with the recording and all the fun things Kristin talks about. And her website will be on that as well.
Yeah. Which is trying to undergo a makeover, but websites fry my brain.
No. Will the red light meter also let me know when lamps should be changed out, like a % of loss in readings or something like UV units do? And thanks for letting me ask so many questions here.
Absolutely.
That's why we're
The presentation a success because I don't know what I would talk about. I would just ramble on if I had to do all my stuff, which is fine. But no, it's going to tell you the nanometer wavelength. So that's not going to change unless something is extremely wrong with the unit, and that way it's just not going to read anything because it's not working. So the red light meter will not do that, unfortunately. There is a like lume, like lux meter that will give brightness, but that doesn't really determine the end result. So you just want to make sure your nanometers are right where they need to be. And then the milliwatts per centimeter squared. Are you talking about fluorescent lamps? Yeah, it's like to change the lamps out. Are you talking more like tanning lamps? Because there's a couple different tanning UV meters. The one is good for like determining if an acrylic is preventing light going through. And then the other one is kind of metered over time. So each one's got a little bit different of a aspect. I do that now. Good. Good. I love it. I love it. Because they can say a lamp is good up to 1,200 hours, but usually you get maybe 800 if everything's working prime. The electronic ballast ones usually, like if they say they're good for 800 hours, they're usually good for that or longer. Like I have noticed like some of my electronic ballast beds, they're pushing out enough light longer than the 800. So lamps are expensive. Like get the most out of them. But the LED lights, they're going to be good for 30 to 50,000 hours before you even have to worry about that. I think that's like 8 years if you run it constantly.
And LJ was the one who was actually having problems in the beginning whenever the manual, when it didn't, it said, or they said that joules didn't matter. So I feel like a meter would really help you know what that's omitting then.
You'll want to know exactly how much milliwatts per centimeter squared are put out, and then you'll figure out how much time your clients need to get a good dose. 5 to 10 joules for skin, 20 to 30 for like mild pain relief, like all the good benefits. And then if somebody's in a lot of pain, like they just had a fracture, they're healing from surgery, 60 joules to 100. You do not want to go over 100 joules in a day. Honestly, 60 is pushing it for most people. Is there anything else anybody else can think of?
We have like 10 minutes left. And honestly, you guys have been great. Like these questions have been so good. And Kristin, you've been doing great at navigating these questions too.
As long as
I
I
know
can.
if we gave you like 4 hours, you could go on about red light for hours. So
I can and I do. I can and I do.
Okay.
I know there's been a couple people that have joined since I asked, but if you joined and you didn't put it in the comments, who are you? Where are you from? What do you do? Seems like we have a lot of tanning people here, but there's a
Which is
couple things
great.
that I
Which is
actually,
great because we want red light and tanning salons. That's what we want.
I want us to be the leader in that. Oh, that's a good catch. Yeah, I definitely will. We try to do every other month, give or take.
Yeah.
Summer
Yeah.
was a little bit crazy, but we try to do every other month. This is our first live one. Normally I have like talking topics
Yeah.
and
It's like a whole webinar presentation and everything, but people have so many questions and we feel bad when we can't answer them. So we were like, so Kristin thought of the great idea to go after hours, and here we are after hours with you guys.
Tahlequah. Tahlequah? Did I say that right? Tahlequah? I think the next one, because I wanted to do one about like medical, like what light therapy specifically helps with and why for different conditions. But I might also, like when I said like that's a hard stop, we talk to a doctor. I think that'll be like my next focus one, like how to actually approach that with a client so you're not overstepping like that medical boundary is affordable as I live in a small town. I mean, I finance a lot, so my affordability is how much can I afford each month. I usually do depends on how much a unit is. So like if something's under say 20,000, I usually finance it for a year. That's it. But if it's a little bit more than that, I usually finance for 5 years. So it depends on how much money you think you can go for. I would need to know like what your monthly budget is. I have a $100,000 unit that I pay 1,200 a month for. And then I've got a $40,000 unit that I want to say I pay $344 a month for. I did that one for a couple years. So if you're buying cash outright, I'm not a finance expert. Maybe I shouldn't go and but I'm a
But
big
you're being raw, and this is what people want to
yeah.
be able to compare. So, Kristin, you're fine.
I used to be able to be like, here you go, here's 50,000. You can take that. But eventually I had to get so many replacements all at once that I'm like, you know what? I think cash on hand is worth the interest rate. So I like am I allowed to say who I use for financing? I use Ascentium Capital for majority of my financing for years now, and they've been really good to me. And interest rates not too terrible considering.
We did just have another question, but Tammy asked earlier, she said, you had said red light prior to UV tanning. Where would you recommend then using a halotherapy booth if doing all three?
Halotherapy is maybe salts and infrared. I would do red light and then halo and then tanning. And that's because warming up your body too much with infrared heat does make light therapy just not absorb into your body the way that it should. It doesn't really affect tanning, but light therapy, it does. It makes it either scatter too far up here or just doesn't absorb at all.
Okay.
And I thought I saw.
Yes,
Oh,
Rhonda said if someone has a cast on from broken bone, will red light help? I know it will not go through the cast.
I wish it could go through the cast. You'll want to light up. So I'm going to use my son who broke his finger all the way that way in baseball this year. Had to have surgery, had to have pins. So we lit up what he could light up, show him for his fingers up here, and then right here where the cast ended, because it is going to push very healthy, fresh blood flow into there, help it heal faster. And then if you can't get anywhere near it, if you do like a full body red light, you're just increasing your cellular turnover in the best way. So as close as you can to red lighting it. Oh, dang injuries. Now, if we could prevent injuries, that would be great. But it does. I mean, there's studies with athletes that show the people that are using red light in a routine and near infrared, especially, have less risk of getting injured and have less severity, less healing time. It actually reduces healing time by like 50% with red and infrared light therapy. Yeah, as close as you can get. My only caution would be like in the case of like healing a bone that's with a pin, until you have the bone in place, I wouldn't light up that area because it does increase how your bones solidify. So I would be very cautious until you're pinned in where it needs to go. Don't light up directly over it. Speaking at the expo in November, which one?
Probably Sunshine and Serenity,
I love
Kristin.
Sunshine and Serenity.
We do.
In
Yeah.
Charleston this year.
Yes. We're actually still talking with Kristin on that. It's funny that you just asked that because I was about to call her right after this, say, hey, we need to set up a meeting and chat about what we're doing for the expo.
I absolutely love that it's going to be in an area where so many more people can get to. I am mildly heartbroken that it's not just a 3-hour drive for me anymore into Ohio, but yeah, I plan on being there. And I think my husband actually is going to try to be there because that's like the 1 week where somehow we don't have any sports going on. If you follow me at all, 4 kids, both our boys do baseball pretty much year round. Both our daughters do volleyball. One daughter does cheerleading, the other daughter does volleyball. So we've got like 2 weeks out of the entire year. This coming week is one where we have no sports going on. And then like that, oh, there is like a week in like Christmas. So technically like 3 weeks where we don't have sports. So the Sunshine one I should be at. Now, if there's other ones and people want me there, call me up because I can try to arrange it. But yeah,
She's
I would.
so interesting to listen to on a panel, guys. Like it's mesmerizing. It's like, wait, I didn't even know I cared about red light this much. And you do. You actually do.
Random facts that I'm like, oh, by the way, did you know this? I love doing it, which is why I wanted to do the live stuff, because trying to put stuff into a webinar and try to figure out, I know what I want to say, but what do you want to hear? So I've gotten some good ideas for upcoming webinars. I don't know the South Carolina one. Oh,
No,
that's the Charleston. Yeah.
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 It's okay. We've been, Kristin,
It's
don't
been
feel bad.
Ohio for years.
We've been accidentally doing North Carolina. Like we've been saying North Carolina. We're like, wait, it's South Carolina.
I keep saying Charlotte.
Oh, yeah. That makes
Very,
sense too, though.
yeah. So yeah, I hope to be there. Yeah.
Yes.
Just keep on my socials. We'll email. We got the list of what we need to email you all out. I'll update my website tomorrow. I'm not redoing the website. I'll just add the links. I'm currently trying to redo the whole thing, but it'll get there in time. Thanks, Tammy.
Yes. Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes. It's been,
Aww.
I know everybody's so kind. Yes,
Oh
Sandy,
my
we
gosh,
will
that's
be.
amazing, Tammy. Tammy was saying how her 81-year-old mother has not had any cataracts. She has had to change her prescription because her eyesight is improving. So when I talk about like light therapy helping eyes, yeah,
That's what, and that's so huge because people feel like they're like, I feel like I have
yeah.
to cover my eyes, but it's really like we're like, I mean, you can, but it is good for you.
There are people that are really sensitive to the
Mhm.
light, and I usually will try them with tanning goggles first just to see if that helps. If not, then I do blackout goggles. But I'm like, if you can try to get used to it. But there's times though that like I'm like, I can't. And then I'll roll over on my stomach. And
Yeah.
oh
Okay,
my
I'm
God.
just giving up. Just turn me around like a bird.
Yeah, I will upload the recording
Yes,
and
and we'll send all this email out to you guys. It will include the links we talked about, Kristen's website, and then the recording. And you guys can either reply to that email if you have any additional questions or we're missing something. Just please don't hesitate to ask us, and we will be scheduling another one here in like probably like another month or so. So we're
oh, it's gonna be
excited. Me and Kristen are besties now because we just all year we've been working together on this. So I'm I feel
I
like I'm the
finally
best.
met her in person last month, and
Yes,
I'm like, I feel like I've known you forever.
I
Somebody
know.
actually said that it's helped with night driving and headlight glare. Yeah, that's actually where my biggest improvement has been is the nighttime glare. Because I was very young and dumb and didn't tan with goggles when I was younger. And it actually has helped dramatically with the nighttime driving. But it does help replace and rebuild like those cones in your eyes. So people report like seeing colors better too, which is fantastic.
That is. I did not
Uh,
know that.
Sandy, as long as you registered with that email to join the webinar, we'll send you it
Mhm.
afterwards. And then I always will post it to my YouTube too. So you'll get it.
And yes, and I am also copying and pasting that email in here just to make sure that we get it to you.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you. And thank you,
Yeah.
Peyton, for working long hours.
Oh, please. I would do this for you any day, Kristen. This is
This is the
fun. I
first
enjoy
one
this.
I've actually done at my salon. So
I
the
say,
during work hours, I've always done it at home because it's just too crazy here. So
yeah,
I would love to do more like this. So we might
yeah.
try that.
Yeah,
Or
also let us know if you guys like this. Yeah, I'd say
yeah,
let us know if you like this because we would love to keep doing more of these, like
yeah.
after hours. We're always going to do webinars, but just like after hours. Okay.
Yeah, and if not after hours, I love seeing people. So
Yeah.
I like
Yes.
this format. I love this format. All right, thank you guys.
Okay.
And any questions that you think of afterwards, shoot them back to that email that gets sent out.